According to today's newspaper headlines, it seems that it's the end of the road for motoring presenter Jeremy Clarkson, as the announcement came late.
And said that it's with deep regret the decision had been taken not to renew him.
Excuse me. Hang on a minute, hang on.
Plenty of sunshine through it today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It'll be a bright sunshiny day. Think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day.
Oh, for God's sake! I have been clever. Honestly, come back. Good France. Look at that for a tidy line.
And now look what we have here. He was born in 1836, and he was fired by Car Magazine, fired by Autocar Magazine, fired by Scotland on Sunday, and somehow he managed to get fired by a Volvo dealership. Probably for driving too slowly. Ladies and gentlemen, James Bay!
Thank you, you're very kind. And, ladies and gentlemen, you probably can't see him from the back, but I assure you, he is here. He was fired by Radio York, fired by Radio Leeds, and fired by Radio Lancashire. It's Richard Hammond!
Hello! Hello! Thank you! Thank you! And, ladies and gentlemen, over here, he's basically a shaved ape in a shirt. And he, technically, is the only one of us never to be fired by anyone. It's Jeremy Clarkson!
Thank you so much. Anyway, we are all car journalists, and we have spent the last 20 years...
being fired?
Yes. But we have poured everything we know, everything we care about, into this show. Everything. And coming up now is a small montage of what you can expect over the next 12 weeks. Are we ready, gentlemen?
Honestly, I don't know.
Is that the size of the drop, or what's happened to his...
You're looking at magnificence!
Help! This is bad! James says we've got to stop for fuel.
I hate you!
He doesn't like it. Bloody Nora.
Maybe leaking slightly.
What a moron.
You sank my limousine!
I've lost one of my nose tampons! This is not a particularly cultural thing to do.
I don't like the smell of tyre smoke in the evening.
Oi! Get back in!
James! It's falling! Fire! Sideways in linen! There's no dignity in that, is there?
No.
Thank you so much, and welcome to the first ever Grand Tour. Right, couldn't be more car-y if it tried. And I'm going to prove that point because we're kicking off with this. Yes, I agree. The thing is, though, various supercar makers have now taken the sort of polar bear friendly technology from a Prius, and they're now using it to create raw, naked speed. Now, I say the best of these hybrid hypercars is the mad, swivel-eyed McLaren P1. Whereas Richard Hammond, who's wrong...
I'm not wrong.
He is, because he says the best is actually the rather boring Porsche 918.
It's not boring.
Yes, it is.
It isn't. It isn't. Well, whatever, we decided to meet up with the cars and settle this once and for all.
Carefully.
Hello. Thank you very much.
The location we chose for this titanic duel was Portugal. Specifically, the international racetrack of the Algarve. When we arrived, mechanics from Porsche and McLaren pounced on our cars, fettling them for what was to come. Soon, the McLaren and the Porsche were ready for some shakedown laps. And for these, we decided we'd drive each other's cars.
Straight away, I can tell you that this doesn't have the brutality or the savagery of the McLaren. Because it has rear-wheel steering and four-wheel drive, it feels planted, it feels secure and safe. And that gives you the confidence to play about. Right, splendid. Genuinely incredible. This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Jesus.
This is frightening. just recalibrates your mind. I didn't think anything could be as exciting as that Porsche, but this is. What a car. I love it.
Well?
This is rubbish.
I was just thinking exactly the same about this.
Were you?
This was boring me to death. It was like being stuck in a Victorian woman's novel.
Well, I'd rather that than being stuck in a telephone box with a panicking gorilla.
Rubbish.
It was trying to kill me.
I
It was
know,
trying to hurt me. It wants to hurt me.
Oh, that's why I like it.
Razor blade in the hands of a surgeon, sickle in the hands of a drunk peasant.
Schooner of sherry, absinthe.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I am here because, gentlemen, I have in the back of that lorry something that will make your McLaren and your Porsche look like lumps of yesteryear. Remember the last time a car, or indeed any sort of thing, gave me a fizz like the Ferrari.
James was obviously talking nonsense, but there's no getting around the fact that these three cars take automotive science to a new level. They use the latest green technology to squeeze as much speed as possible from every molecule of fuel. As a result, they're all capable of blasting way past 200 miles an hour whilst producing fewer harmful emissions than a family saloon. What we have here, then, are three incredible machines which, at a stroke, have made the traditional supercar look wooden and old-fashioned. Welcome, everyone, to the Hypercar Holy Trinity.
That was a mistake. That was a massive mistake.
carefully. Excellent. Oh, wow! Oh, God! That's will do. Now we go on to the really fast bit. I'd like to say I'm sorry, but really this is a punishment for your own greed and failure. It is quite scary through here. Very exciting.
We could have played out there all day, but before we ended up in a £3 million crash, we decided to start the tests to see which of the cars was best. I came up with the first one, mainly to annoy gatecrasher May. Let's make the first test a drag race using electrical power only.
Good idea.
No, it isn't a good idea.
Why not?
Because you can't drive the Ferrari on electrical power only.
No!
No, but look, of course you can't, because it's a Kerr system like a Formula One car. It's got a V12 engine and an electric motor, but they're all integrated. They work together all of the time. You can't separate them.
You should have thought about that, shouldn't you?
Bad planning.
With James reduced to the role of onlooker, we lined up the P1 and the 918 on the start line. But then, instead of revving the petrol engines, we shut them down.
Three, two, one. I'm gonna have a panic attack. Go!
Who won that? It was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not important though, is it?
Is it not?
No, it's just not relevant.
Right, right. In a drag race, it's irrelevant which car gets there first.
Yeah, yours is the better milk float.
Back in the pits, Hammond had an idea for the next test.
We've got to drive to the hotel, yeah, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's about an hour away, and it gives us a chance to see what they're like on the road.
That's a good point.
Real world.
That is a good point.
I can't do that. I can't drive the Ferrari on the road.
Why?
Well, it's not registered.
It is, got number plates.
No, that's just pretend number plates. If they register it, it becomes second-hand and they have to pay the tax. That's why it came in a lorry.
So you can't drive it on the road either?
Nobody can drive it. It's not road legal.
Oh, no.
Mate, that's...
Oh, that is such a shame.
It's an hour of...
Oh, sorry, James. That's really a rotten bit of luck, because you've come a long way from Italy.
Soon, Richard and I were enjoying the world's best ever commute.
Go, go, go! Sorry.
rubbish and lethal.
Oh my God!
Watch this. Oh no. Oh, bloody hell.
You're all right. You're all right in Italian. Oh, God.
Sorry to have to say this, but that Ferrari is useless.
Yes. Later on in part 2, when these two have stopped dreaming up idiotic and irrelevant tests that it can't take part in, we shall see.
We've got to tell everyone about our track. Yes, we have one. This is the sort of place where you can drive cars at speeds that you can do on the road, but only if you want to go to prison afterwards.
What, like 38 miles an hour?
Well, 39, maybe even 40 from time to time. Now, we were hoping that we could bring it round the world with us, like the tent, but unfortunately it's too heavy. And as you're about to see, too bitey. This is it. It's not a race circuit. It's not an airfield. It's not a road. What it is brilliant and fast and extremely dangerous. It even looks dangerous on a map, because as you can see, it's the exact same shape as the Ebola virus. Right, time now to show you what a lap looks like, and to do that, we've got a bit of a performance benchmark, a Ferrari 488. Take it away. Take it away. First up, it's the isn't straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the isn't straight, we're into your name here corner. If you make a mistake, there's no runoff area, it's just woods. Section Old Lady's House because it's right next to a house where an old lady lives. Get this 90 left right or you'll crash into a cage full of electricity. And you'll need to get the final 90 left right as well, or you'll run into a field of sheep. So, trees, animals, a house, electricity, and because it's in England, usually quite a lot of moisture in the air. It really is the most dangerous track anywhere in the world. The car I've selected for my first lap of the Ebola-drome is this. The BMW M2. Back onto the isn't and unleashed 365 rampaging horsepowers from the turbocharged 3-litre straight 6, roaring off. There are fast corners, slow corners, drifty corners, and bumps. It's hard on the tyres, it's hard on the brakes, it's hard on the engine. It's point and squirt and bark and yelp. It is vicious. But there is nothing here which has flummoxed the M2. This thing is an absolute masterpiece. Like I said, it is the best M car BMW's ever made. You may think it's mad to suggest the cheapest M car is the best, but look at it this way. This track is a lot cheaper than Silverstone, and I know which one I'd rather drive round.
Get this right. At our track, there's trees, animals, moisture, electricity, a house, and an unexploded bomb. Yeah.
Like I said, it's the most dangerous track in the world. Honestly, it makes Imola look like a duvet. It really, honestly, does.
Anyway, all the cars that we test at the Ebola-drome will do a timed lap. And to make sure it's a completely level playing field, they will all be driven by the same racing driver. Yeah. Clever. Give it some thought.
How clever is that? Now, thing is, Amazon, insisted that the racing driver in question should be from this side of the pond. So we went to something called NASCAR, and we found one, and we shipped him to England, and then we introduced him to the complicated procedure which involves turning right. He's called Mike Skinner, but we know him simply as the American. Right, there he is, looking utterly bewildered. A skitter of a wheel spin, and immediately he's onto the isn't straight. He's through the final corner.
the up to old lady's house. No turbo lag at all. As he hammers down the bumpy back straight towards substation. One more 90 left to go through Fielder's Sheep. Now, to make sure that the M2 wasn't on sort of the lapboard all by itself, we got the American to put some other benchmark cars. Well, we call them benchmark cars. He calls them communist. Around the track to see what's what. There they all are. Look. Now it's time to see where the M2 goes on that board. Let's have a look. Let's put it on. Oh.
Wow! I think it's the best M car they've ever made. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, look,
I prefer it to all the others that are quicker than it.
it's
Definitely the one you should have if you want one that's slower than all the other M cars.
It's better. It's only it's quicker than a Civic.
Thanks for jumping in, guys. This is the Grand Tour, and I am pathetic at it, as you can see. It's just the steering is really weird. The cars are really heavy, and when you try and turn, I've got to be on the brake more, but I've just come from playing GTA races for the year, and it's just weird getting used to a different racing game.
Yes, on day one at the track in Portugal, we established that the McLaren P1 is a mentalist, that the Porsche 918 is very good milk float, and that the Ferrari can do nothing at all.
Some of that is true. But now, day 2.
Good concept though for a game linked to the TV show. I don't watch the show, can't get it, but I believe all this is part of the show somehow.
We began by lining up the 3 most exciting cars on the planet.
Anyway,
for the
on with
drag
it.
race of all drag races. Naturally, this meant engaging launch control, which in the McLaren takes about a fortnight.
I have to have the drivetrain in track mode, the aero package in sport mode, so that the rear end squats when I set off and gives me more traction.
Seems irrelevant what car I have, because I'm having the same problems with this steering thing. Anyway.
Launch control in the Porsche, left foot on the brake, hard, right foot on the throttle, hard. Light goes green, left foot off brake, ding!
Launch button press for 2 seconds, left foot on brake, right foot on throttle.
Press launch control, mash the throttle, within 4 seconds release the brake.
3 seconds later, I have full boost, and I have to set off then within 3 seconds or the entire system disengages.
I'm going to get this wrong, just so you know. I've got a lot to do in here.
Three, 2, 1, go!
With that sorted, it was time to bring in a racing driver to see which of our cars could do the fastest lap. Our resident American said he wasn't interested because all 3 cars are probably...
Can't even get that right.
So instead,
For God's
he went
sake.
for a Belgian chap who's done Formula 1 and Formula E. Jerome D'Ambrosio. Jerome took the cars out to get a sense of how they handled.
Allez, salut.
And when he'd finished, we were interested to hear his professional opinion.
La McLaren, une voiture, je pense peut-être la plus difficile à piloter. Très facile de faire une erreur, et c'est vraiment une voiture de grand garçon. Il faut faire attention et donc pas facile de faire un tour. Je pense qu'elle est un peu moins efficace.
At this point, word reached us that Jeremy was taking liberties with the subtitling machine.
Donc c'est...
So we moved on to the big event, the timed laps. Once the mechanics had finished their preparations, the 3 speed traps were activated. And the Ferrari took its place on the start line.
My God.
Look how good it looks there.
Gonna make a mess of this again. No, I messed that up. Still can't get the hang of the steering properly. Oh, hang.
Thank you very much, James. You want to go and get a cup of tea?
Well, we've warmed the track.
Next, it was the turn of the Porsche 918.
How much faster will it go because of the stripes, do you think?
Much.
Oh, too much. Just want to throw that drift in now and again.
Finally, it was the turn of the Psycho Killer, the trickiest, the edgiest of the 3. But I was so confident it'd win, I was prepared to take a massive gamble.
If the McLaren
isn't the fastest, you two can knock my horse down.
Thanks for jumping in, guys. Whoever's watching, 6 of you, I notice. Hello to you all.
That's how confident I am that that will be.
I am rubbish at this game,
That's
as you can
we
see.
will do that.
Yep.
It's a serious bet.
Fine.
If that's not the fastest, we can knock your house down.
Yep. You know where it is. You've both been.
I'd love to knock it down.
Here we go. A lot riding on this.
Nice looking cars though, and it's not a bad game. It's £12 in English coinage. Nice car. This one feels the best. But that put me off. That's better. Getting a bit more used to it.
Back to the tent.
Not fantastic though.
Absolutely plain, because I know this matters to Anorax. All three cars were running on exactly the same sort of tyres.
Yes, same tyres, same track, same driver. So the times are down to the cars.
Yep, and now it is time to reveal those.
You could say the times are down to me, because that was shit.
The producers have kept them from us, they're top secret. So, let's put the scoreboard up and let's begin.
This is cool though, the way it does this.
The Ferrari, I believe. Let's see what it did it in, please. 154.4. We don't know if that was any good.
Let's move on and do the Porsche next. Let's have a look. What did the Porsche do it in? I told you it's just a melon ball. It's slower than my car, which was faster than your car.
Yeah, you point to him saying, and it looks better.
Yeah, it did. In my mirror, where it belongs. Get it? It's a melon ball and it lost.
Hammond, calm down. Because now we must bring up the time that really matters. The one where a lot's at stake. The McLaren, the McLaren P1.
Are you nervous?
No. No, that's not nervous.
Why be nervous? Because you could get like a shock.
Are these my actual times though? Surely it can't be, because they'd have to say every single time 1,000,000 times and record it, wouldn't they?
Quiet. Let's bring up the time of the P1. Here we go. Where is it?
Anyway, if that was that my actual time?
Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week in Johannesburg. Goodbye.
Not bad. I was rubbish at it, but it's a good idea, linking in a game in like that with a TV show. So you can just replay each one and try and get a better score. Cool. So I see. So if you go into single player, that was season 1. Then you got season 2, season 3. Awesome. That's it. Anyway, that's enough for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye. 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 How do I turn this off?